Man in Gray here with another Man in Gray book review. Today's book is Sonnet 56 by Paul Hoover, published in 2009 by Les Figues Press. It's 82 pages long. April is National Poetry Month, and so I'll be featuring poetry collections of various types on this channel throughout the month. Today we have a little book that's another variation on a famous book, famous experimental book by Raymond Queneau called Exercises in Style. Now, I did a review on that book earlier, but if you didn't see that one, Exercise in Style is a book that Queneau came out with in the late 1940s. And in it, he tells a little simple story, and he tells it over and over again 99 times in 99 different forms. So he tells it as a play, as a poem, as a book blurb, as a legal transcript and a form letter and so forth, playing around with the ideas of language, mostly prose forms of language. Well, what Paul Hoover's done in this case is he's done the same thing only with poetry. He's taken a rather obscure Shakespeare sonnet, sonnet number 56, which is not considered one of Shakespeare's more memorable poems, and he's rewritten it 56 times in 56 different forms of poetry. So you get to play. So he plays around with the idea of forms of poetry. So he takes Shakespeare's play, Shakespeare's sonnet, and he writes it as a haiku, as a limerick, as a parody of a Tang Dynasty poem, as a commercial jingle, as an epic poem, as an answering machine transcript, as a parody of a Rilke poem, as a crossword puzzle, as a Morse code message, as an erasure poem. As a blues poem, a confessional poem, as a blank verse poem, although it's not technically in blank verse, it's sort of a parody of blank verse, as a book preface, and even as a math equation. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to read Shakespeare's original sonnet, so you can see what it sounds like, and then one of Hoover's parodies or reworkings of it. So here is Shakespeare's sonnet number 56. I'll try to get through this without messing up, see if I can make it through. Sonnet 56. Sweet love, renew thy force, be it not said, thy edge should be blunter than appetite. Which but today by feeding is allayed, tomorrow sharp in his former might. So love be thou, although today thou fill thy hungry eyes, even till they wink with fullness. Tomorrow see again, and do not kill the spirit of love with perpetual dullness. Let this sad interim like oceans be, which part the shore, where two contracted new come daily to the banks, that when they see return of love, more blessed may be the view. As call it winter, which being full of care, makes summer welcome, thrice more wished, more rare. Okay, so that's Shakespeare's sonnet. And I'm going to read one of my favorite examples from this, the reworkings. This is simply called bad writing. So here's Shakespeare's sonnet, deliberately written in a bad way. Sweet love, renew our stickiness. Nobody said your circumcision should be blunter than your appetite, which but today love swallowed. Though delayed, tomorrow will be sharpened with a carving knife. You're a lover, you pill, though estos dias you fill. Your shot glass eyes until they drink to fullness. Tomorrow you'll see more things, but don't kill love's cheapness with your incredible dullness. Let any pathetic screw-up or fault like oceans be rare the shore, where two consumers brand new arrive at the bank and lift their eyes to what they see. Fatality. The viewer is blessed more than the view. Call it skiing season, which being full of scrapes and scares, makes summer's barbecue welcome. Well done, medium rare. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of fun in these poems. He really plays around with the format and also with the little kind of parodies of Shakespeare's language. So if you're interested in different forms of poetry, this is actually a fun book, but also kind of educational because you get to learn about various different forms of poetry, some of the traditional ones and some of the more extreme examples. There's poems done in certain shapes. There's one that's a Christmas tree format. There's a free verse poem and so forth. There's an epigraph like you have on a tombstone. So there's all kinds of different forms of poetry here, all based on this Shakespeare sonnet. So if you're interested in poetry and you want to read something for Poetry Month, this is a fun book and a way to learn about different forms of poetry. The book is Sonnet 56. The author is Paul Hoover. This has been another Man in Great Book Review. Thanks for watching.